Hello, welcome back to Blender Sushi Live. Today I'm just gonna be doing some doodles in 2D or 3D, and might actually use also a grease pencil traditional ink from Sophie. This is something that you can purchase or you can download the free one, give the price that you want, and yeah, just download the blend, and you can check her video on how to install it and how to use some of the brush. She has some beautiful drawing using these brushes. So yeah, first of all, I'm just gonna create new file, 2D animations, and file, save as, just gonna doodle, just PS doodle, and you can file, append, you can go to her blend files and download the one called SJ Sophie Jantek, and then just append it. So now you can actually have new brushes from Sophie. So by default, if you are working in the 2D view, it's gonna look like this, and you can start doodling. And this is me using my mouse. By default, the strength is 0.6. I can increase it to maximum. And using the mouse, we don't have like pressure sensitivity. But if I switch to, I can make this bigger. Control spacebar. I can start doodling using my iPad. And I'm using, I think this is the default pencil brush. Usually I like to use this ink rough. And with the ink rough, you have some variations of the ink, so there's like some kind of noise being applied, and we can start doodling. Don't know what I'm trying to draw here. Maybe I'm drawing Suzanne the monkey. Just gonna draw whatever actually, but I always want to do like some kind of comic drawing just using grease pencil in 3D. You might ask, why do you want to do comics inside Blender? Well, you get the 3D on top of the 2D drawings. You can always go switch to 3D mode, and it's also, grease pencil is really special because it's actually, despite that it's being 3D, it's also resolution, it's free from any resolution. I mean, you can zoom in and you can still get high resolutions. So by default, if you are actually using the 2D animations, you are actually drawing in this mode, front X Z axis. You can switch this to side view, and you are drawing on the side, and you can also draw on from the top view. So this is something you want to know. Or you can also draw on the view, drawing. So whatever view you have, you are drawing, and it is actually 3D. Okay, so whatever camera angle you are viewing is 3D. It can be disorienting at times. So now suddenly I have an idea. What if, so currently we are in this mode. Let's see, control spacebar. Okay, we are in grease pencil drawing mode. So you can see here we are selecting the stroke and we are drawing. I'm using my mouse here, okay? Now, in order not to get disoriented like this, it's a good idea maybe to have a 3D objects in the scene. Let's just draw some cube. Okay, some cube. This you might, okay, I can delete everything, the stroke. And this thing might be a little bit too bright. By default, we can reduce the color. This is the viewport shading mode and a different shading mode. Let's use this for now. Let's draw some boxes so we can draw our comics or whatever on the wall. This might feel strange at first, but why not? Why not do this? So I'm drawing some wall, so we can just paint on the wall just like a graffiti. And this is pretty fun. Okay, so the next thing we want to do, we have all these cubes. You can tidy this up. Select all the cube and then just move it into new collections. Call it box. So it's tidier. Now we go outside to the collections and then Shift A, create grease pencil blank. Now we can start do some proper drawing. With grease pencil selected, we can go to draw mode and start drawing, but we want to draw on the surface. By default it has 0.5 offset. We want to make it smaller. If we start drawing, you might notice the stroke might sometimes goes inside, so you might actually want to turn on 3D strokes, 3D locations. Yeah, I think that's a good start, and we can increase the radius. Okay, you can start drawing using just your mouse. So this is one of my character. I think it's probably based on Snoopy. I don't know, I cannot remember, but definitely a little bit original. I can draw the piggy. This is using my mouse, but I want to try actually some of the brushes from Sophie. So let me switch to, let's save this, Control P. You know, this is using my Apple Pencil on the iPad. Should have more control. Let's draw another Suzanne. Long face Suzanne. Okay, with some tail. So this is the ink pen rough. Let's try some of the brushes from Sophie. The brush is interesting actually. It has that quality once you put it down, and it start to draw like variations of ink. I think like let me try. I think the color might be a little bit too dark, so it doesn't feel right at the moment. Oh yeah, I think I need to put it down and then start painting. It might actually work best as 2D. I have a feeling. Maybe my radius is too small. Yeah, somehow it's always become too dark. Let's try the blobby. So this is if I'm just using my mouse. Let's try drawing something here. Trying to draw Goku from Dragon Ball. Not really. I have a feeling that the brush needs to be in 2D mode. Okay, now it's starting to feel right. I don't know why it's become dark again, however. Okay, this time it feels a bit better. Yeah, but it's the color that's a bit weird, maybe. Oh yeah, I need to switch to this mode. Maybe the render mode is a bit wrong. Okay, now it's kind of better. So if I'm using like this is Sophie's brush, the pressure is really important to get the color right. I can get something really abstract, however. Cool. Okay, anyway, I can paint whatever. Yeah, this one starting to feel right on my hand. We can perhaps draw like some kind of virus with the scary eyeballs. This can be relaxing, and we can, you know, like the Ghostbuster logo, we can scratch this. We are not afraid of the virus. Let's make use of the blobby. So I'm really drawing this in 3D. Oh, well, that's a bit crazy. Let's try the alt pen. This one, some of the brushes seems to be okay set to small value radius. Maybe that's why it doesn't feel right. Now it's a little bit better. Yeah, this one is the most natural. I quite like this one. So let's start drawing something like I don't know. If you're drawing in 2D, really there is no limit in what you draw. Really, you can draw anything. Unlike 3D, where it's can be a little bit technical, with 2D actually you have a lot of freedom. You can just draw anything that comes in your mind, you know. And you might want to have butterfly. You know, you suddenly have flower and butterfly. 2D is really powerful that way. And yeah, I thought I started with, you know, just drawing a lot of doodles when I was small, and I draw it on a paper, of course, and my parents used to tell me, oh, okay, what are you doing? You keep drawing everywhere. My parents, of course, like a business. They have like a business, their own business, but I like to do doodle, and yeah, it's maybe it's more like my cup of tea. I'm not really like a businessman, but I like doing doodles, and I always say I want to be an animator. And I remember a doctor used to laugh at my dream. I don't know. Yeah, well, I'm just gonna be an animator. I don't care. So yeah, anyway, I become, at least today I can do my own artwork on YouTube and just do whatever, you know. Sometimes it needs to be, I told myself it needs to be more productive. I need to make something that makes more sense, but sometimes you just want to draw, you know. I don't know what, I don't always know what I'm doing. I just want to make something. I want to create something. Okay, this is the crazy virus. This ink from Sophie often suddenly feels right after you after you paint it for a few seconds, and it started to feel really good on your hand. So yeah, like I said, this, you might just use this to do some doodles. Maybe it's a good exercise, and you don't always need to do everything in 3D, really. You want to be a 3D artist, it doesn't mean you will do 3D. You can paint in 3D. No, let's draw something. Let's make Mickey Mouse. I have to do this more often. I know my drawing skill sometimes becoming really rusty. I know it time to time. I mean, your brain also needs to switch to 2D mode. This is a pretty bad drawing of Mickey Mouse. I think I did it wrong. It needs to be like this. I need to draw the, yeah, this is a better Mickey Mouse. There's only one way to draw Mickey Mouse, right? Or maybe wrong. I don't know. Mickey Mouse there. Static Mickey Mouse, and I don't know what this character is. Another alien looking creatures, maybe with a ribbon. But you have a lot of freedom with 2D drawing, really. This is Sophie brush. If I draw it very lightly, I get this gray scale. I can, oh yeah, suddenly it doesn't always update. Doesn't always update on the screen. I realize, maybe, like I said, sometimes it feels right. Maybe it's depending on the angle also, and how close you are to the camera. What else can I draw here? Okay, maybe some kind of ocean creatures, some kind of little octopus or jellyfish. This is your art. This is if you're doing this yourself, this is your art gallery, or whatever you draw the boxes, and you can start drawing whatever. This is the Goku from the other. I can, what else can I draw? Some kind of bean chicken. If you're staying too long time in the lockdown, and you don't see a lot of things, your brain started to have like a weird dementia, I think. It's bad. It's really bad. I wanna go out and do some grease pencil doodle. I wish I can bring my computer. I can use my MacBook and the iPad, maybe. Let's just continue drawing whatever fish. I think I don't have a lot of library inside my head, or maybe brain's getting rusty. Oh wait, I haven't drawn my snail. When drawing like this, also reminds me, at some point I want to become a comic artist. Comic artists can draw whatever, but of course you need to tell story, right? With comics, you have, with one picture or like a couple of panels or hundreds of panels, you can create story. Of course, you're working with typography, and you design the panel, and you plan your story. You don't just draw whatever. Like, what is this? This is like more like a graffiti. Some of them looks pretty bad. This is some kind of random doodles all over the place, but in the end you will have like a 3D artwork, and maybe you can export it as AR. I think I need to do this daily, even though maybe even if I'm not recording and I'm not talking. This is pretty useful and relaxing. Okay, let's just draw something. I think I need to draw like a. I need to learn how to draw hands. I'm still pretty weak when drawing hands and fingers. I'm looking at my hands now. Yeah. So this is not like it's not like Kim Jong-gi. Kim Jong-gi is drawing like doing like performance drawing. This is pretty just random doodles, but still pretty enjoyable. I'm saving it time to time. So I'm back to this one. This is some kind of vaccine. Yeah. We need to fill all the canvas. Let's think of something interesting to draw. This is Miyazaki's no face creatures. Another weird alien creatures with a lot of eyes. Save this. This is all drawn using a single grease pencil stroke. If you go to different frame, you can create an animations. I'm not gonna do that, but I just want to show you. Okay, Control spacebar, back to real 3D mode. You have a single grease pencil and a single just grease pencil keyframe, right? Add modifier noise will give you this. I always think it makes the drawings feel alive a little bit. That's pretty cool. Let's stop that, go back to the first frame. And maybe not many people knows, but of course by default this is what you have, the 2D camera. And if you want to keyframe the camera, of course you can, because this is Blender. Select the camera and keyframe the camera from the view. However, you need to do it from the view. So you are inside the view, camera view, and then you need to turn on this view lock the camera to view. Now you can start moving around. And this is frame number 1, and you have the camera keyframe. If you tap I, lock the rotation, keyframe location and rotations, right? You can see the keyframe because this is the grease pencil keyframe. Underneath here is the camera keyframe. Okay, something that if you're a beginner in Blender, you didn't know that this is the actual keyframe on the timeline. So if you have this keyframe, you go to another frame, You start framing. Okay, it might need to move back like that. Okay. You might want to put a hold here. Few second hold. So suddenly you have like this kind of like walk through your exhibit. And you stay there for a few frames. And then you move again. Let's do a close up on this painting. I just make a duplicate of that keyframe, so we have a hold. We move to the next one, the virus. Okay, duplicates. Let's move to the next one. This ugly one. Highlight. Okay, this alien meet spirited away. Keyframe. Increase the length of the animations. Mickey Mouse and Monster Inc. I think the animations might be too fast. Duplicates. So that's our little exhibit. Maybe go back to the starting point. Okay, once you have your camera and animations, etc. You want to make this a little bit better. Maybe you want to have like a floor. Create a plane mesh. Maybe you can use a plane and then just solidify. At the moment, I think the color is a bit gray. Maybe because we need to have light. I'm turning on ambient occlusion and see if I can get something. Yeah, okay. We have contact shadow, so it feels a little bit more 3D. So if we now go back to our camera, okay, you might notice we have some weirdness happening here. This is actually pretty cool. Okay, you can make use of this kind of effects because this is, of course, Blender and you are working in 3D. Remember when I draw the leaves at some point from this angle? That's the leaf right there. So if we go back to our camera and we want to add that, select our camera so we can see the keyframe again. Okay, we are here. I want to duplicate that keyframe, and we are still controlling the camera. No. Lock the camera to view and start moving the camera. Just gonna show the leaves there, this angle, because we are working in 3D. Oh, when camera flies a little bit too crazy. Maybe there's a gimbal lock. Maybe I need to control this a little bit. Yeah, there's a gimbal lock. Animating the camera is also can be tricky. I think I just made a huge rotations. Okay, yeah, animating the camera. can be tricky. Let's see if I can fix that. Okay, there's a gimbal, there's a Euler, maybe some kind of Euler thing going on. Euler filter. Oh well, don't worry about that for now. I just wanted to show you that we can fix the weird rotations. Maybe the rotation was too big. Oh well, anyway. So we have our 3D animations going around. This is almost like a, if you want to display this on using Sketchfab, or actually, but inside Blender, just the blend file, you can send it to your friend or family. This is like a concept. Yeah, as a 3D artist doing 2D inside a 3D space, like in almost like in VR, except that you are painting on the wall. I saw a lot of works by artists like Goro on Twitter, making his artwork using VR. It's quite amazing actually. I really like his work. If you check, go on Twitter and find a Goro art, his VR works is really beyond its time. At this point, I wish I have like a VR tools. Maybe I like to do some VR, but I'm pretty happy with Blender at the moment. I still need to refine my art, I guess. But yeah, thanks Sophie for the brush. This is really cool brush. I will try to do this more often. Yeah, what else I want to talk about? Really, there's nothing much. Let's go back to camera view, full screen. Need to be careful with the camera motion because we are actually animating the camera as well. So yeah, that's my quick art. Maybe it's better just make it like walkthrough. If we use like a Unity or Unreal or Godot, maybe we can do the walk around. I think in Blender you can do that as well. I forgot. F3 walk navigation. This is walk navigations in Blender. Go to full screen. I'm actually okay. Control spacebar or Control Option spacebar. Totally full screen, and then F3. I'm using the iPad here, so actually the screen is a bit small. But this is the walk around mode. I can use AWSD and start walking around my gallery. So if we somewhat can export this to Unity or Unreal or Godot game engine, we can do proper walk around. Or if you are using AR, if somewhat you can bake this can become AR. Of course you can do that. Maybe I should show you. So now we have all these boxes and grease pencil. I think we can just bake it out. Grease pencil. Right click, convert to Bezier curve. We have huge Bezier curve now. This is the original grease pencil. I can delete it. We have the really huge curve here. We can optimize